In this video, I'm going to perform some basic vector operations. What I have done is I have created a live script and entered this text. So what I will now go on and do is enter the Matlab code to answer these questions: addition, scalar multiplication, dot product, cross product, and the norm. So for me to do that, I'll start by entering these two vectors. To do that, I'll click here, then just press the return key, then select that I want to enter a code, the Matlab code. So for these two vectors, I'll enter them as raw vectors. What we do is we type the elements with a space or a comma between the elements inside square brackets. So that's what I'll do. I'll have my v there is equals to open square brackets 2 space 1 then minus 1. So that's my v there. I can then go on and enter my w. W is equals to open square brackets, then it's 1 divided by 2, and then 2 divided by 3, then minus 1 divided by 4. So I have now entered my vectors there. I can just click here where it says run so that we see the vectors. So we have these raw vectors 2, 1, minus 1, 0.5, 0.667, minus 2.5. But as you can see here, this one is now coming out as a decimal, But we can change that for them to come out as fractions. I can just enter these vectors as symbolic vectors. So what I can do is I can go on and edit here, and I just press SYM, open parenthesis, then close parenthesis. Then do the same for the W there, enter it as a symbolic vector, SYM, open parenthesis, and then close parenthesis. So they are now symbolic vectors. I can run the section. So now we can see that the W now is appearing with the elements there being fractions. So I can now go on to the next step here. We want to do the addition and subtraction of the vectors. So I'll click here, press the return key, and I'll press here where it says code. So for the code, we want to add the two vectors. So it will just be v plus w. V plus w there. Then I can just run to see the result. So v plus w is 5 over 2, 5 over 3, minus 5 over 4. So it gives us that raw vector there. I can press here, press the return key, then the subtraction v minus w. I can then go on and run the section, and the subtraction there is 3 over 2, 1 over 3, minus 3 over 4. So that's the solution there for v minus w. I now go on to the next part, this one here for scalar multiplication. I press the return key, then enter the Matlab code. I click on code here. So we are just multiplying the v by 3. So it's 3, then multiplied by the vector v. I can go on and run the section so that it gives us the result. This one, that's the result, 6, 3, minus 3. For scalar multiplication, we are just multiplying all the elements of the vector v by the scalar 3. I go on to finding the dot product. I press the return key here, specify that I now want to enter code for the dot product. The code dot calculates the dot product of two vectors. So for the dot product, I can just say d here is equals to, and I say dot of the vectors we are looking at. It's a v, comma, then w. So I can just run there so that we see the result. It gives that the dot product there is 23 over 12. I can go on and evaluate the cross product. I press the return key here, press on code, then enter the code for the cross product. The code for cross product is cross AB, where the vectors AB are the vectors that you want to calculate the cross product of. So for the cross product, I can just type my C is equals to, then we say cross. So it's cross, open parenthesis, and we are saying the cross product of V, then and W, so it's a comma. So I can just go on and run here so that we see what our C is. So we see our C there is the row vector, which has elements 5 over 12, 0, 5 over 6. I now go on to the last one, the norm. So I click here, press the return key, then click on code so that I enter my Matlab code. The code for the norm of a vector is norm. So norm, open parenthesis, we are finding the norm of the vector V. So it's V. Then we can just run that there. So we see that the norm there is square root of 6. So we are now done here. We have entered the Matlab code and have the results there on the right hand side. But if we want to view the code with the results below the code, what you can just do is go to export here. You can export as PDF, Word, or HTML or LaTeX. Let me just export to HTML there. So I export it. So the HTML that will come out is this one here, where we had our title here, our vectors, our LaTeX code for entering the vectors V and W, then our operations, addition and subtraction, then the results there. So this is what we did in this tutorial.